Okay, before we open in a minute, I just want to make sure that everyone can hear me clearly. Fred?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay. Kathy?
Yes.
Okay. Rod, can you hear me? Rod? Well, if Rod can. Brig, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I believe Rod's number is muted, so maybe he can hear us, but we can't hear him.
Okay, so Rod, maybe you can, there you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you betcha.
Yeah,
Okay, it was muted. I didn't realize it.
Oh,
there we
okay.
go.
But I could have I heard you, so I thought I was on.
Yeah,
Maybe.
no,
Okay, go ahead.
We're all good now. So Fred, will you first to open?
Yes.
Greg second?
Yes.
Thank you. So moved by Frederick, seconded by Brigda, that the council meeting of February 8th, 2021 do now open for business at 7 p.m. Kathy in favor?
Yes.
Fred?
Yes.
Brigda?
Yep.
Rod?
Yes.
And myself as yes, that's carried. In the future, we're probably not going to bother with that motion. I think whoever is chairing the meeting is just going to go ahead and open up the meeting, declare it open, and then move on from there. So that's typically how a lot of municipalities do it, as far as my understanding goes. So item 2, are there any declarations of pecuniary interest, and if so, the nature thereof? None. No delegations. Discussions arising from previous council minutes. We do have a letter I've asked Frederick to read, and then we can move on with more discussions if there's any at that time. So if you would, Deputy Mayor, we appreciate you reading that letter.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is the regarding the public reprimand to Councillor Gingras for the interference with a statutory process and the role of a statutory officer. At the January 18th, 2021 regular council meeting, the Council of the Township of Nairn and Hyman considered the findings and recommendations included in the Integrity Commissioner's report regarding a code of conduct complaint against Councillor Gingras. The Integrity Commissioner found that Councillor Gingras' actions were in contravention of the Township's code of conduct and made recommendations. Council considered the recommendations and passed resolution number 2021-1-4. Included in this resolution is that Council will issue a public reprimand to Councillor Gingras for interfering with a statutory process / statutory officer, and further that Councillor Gingras publicly apologizes to the CEO, Clerk Treasurer, and the Mayor for this misconduct. In April of 2020, the Treasurer, a statutory officer of the municipality, conducted a sale of property for tax arrears in accordance with Part 6 of the Municipal Act, Sale of Land for Tax Arrears. Councillor Gingras attempted to interfere with the tax sale in a very significant way and skew the process to benefit a single taxpayer. She also made disparaging remarks to and about the CEO, Clerk Treasurer, and the Mayor, accusing them both of collusion, fraud, and incompetence. Council does not condone such behavior and will be implementing a range of remedial measures to address such conduct. Councillor Gingras' remarks to the CAO, Clerk Treasurer, and the Mayor do not reflect the view of Council or the Corporation of the Township of Nairn and Hyman, and therefore Council formally reprimands Councillor Gingras for her above actions pursuant to resolution number 2021-1-4, and requests that she publicly apologizes for her interference in this statutory process and for the disparaging comments she made about the Mayor and the CEO, Clerk Treasurer. Thank you.
Thanks, Frederick. We just have a motion here first before we get into any other discussions that it's accepted as presented. Fred, will you first that?
Yes.
Kathy second?
Yes.
Thanks. So moved by Frederick, seconded by Kathy, that item 4A, public reprimand regarding council member is accepted as presented. Kathy in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Bring it up.
I think I'll abstain on this.
So you're not voting on it?
Sorry?
So you're not going to vote? You can vote against it by all means.
No, I would prefer to abstain.
Okay,
It's regarding me, so I'd prefer to abstain.
okay, thank you. Rod?
No.
Against, I'm for, so that's carried. And if there is anything else anyone wants to say on those council minutes, now's the time.
Yes, I had something to say, Mr. Chair.
Okay, go ahead, Greg.
When the Integrity Commissioner's report was presented to council at our public council meeting December 14th, 2020, I requested then and was approved to speak to this report. At that time, from my council seat at an open council meeting, I apologized. For the record, if required, I'll submit those words in writing to the township within 5 days. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. Anyone else have anything?
I have just one question.
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
The Ministry of the Environment did the inspection report for Ontario Clean Water Association, and they had said they were going to be giving Ontario Clean Water Agency a sampling protocol. And I was wondering if they had received that, or do we know that or not? They said they would get it to them by January 31st. And I was wondering if Ontario Clean Water Agency had received that protocol on collecting the samples.
Okay, I'm going to ask Belinda to speak to that as she's in contact with them regularly.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Can everyone hear me? Okay, thank you. I have spoken with our operator and manager, Keith Stringer of Aqua, regarding that report. He has provided me with an email stating that they have updated their sampling protocols and they have implemented processes to not have that sampling error happen again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing else there. We're just going to have the regular council minute accepted as presented. Fred, will you first that?
Yes.
Kathy second.
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Frederick, seconded by Kathy. Following council minutes be accepted as presented. Regular council meeting minutes, January 18th, 2021. Kathy in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Greg, you're abstaining?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
Rod
abstaining.
against? Is that correct?
No.
Okay, and I am for, so that's carried. Okay, moving on to minutes and reports. Item 6A, Township of Nairn and Hyman CAO's report, number 2021-003 regarding drinking water advisory. 6B, Township of Nairn and Hyman CAO's report, number 2021-004 regarding communication platform. We do have some motions on these after, so we'll just we'll read through these now and then note them as being received and discuss the motions once that's done. Item 6C, Township of Nairn and Hyman CAO's report number 2021-005 regarding written declaration of pecuniary interest and establishment of a public registry of disclosures of interest. 6D, Township of Nairn and Hyman CAO's report number 2021-006 regarding municipal modernization program. Township of Nairn and Hyman CAO report number 2021-007 regarding amendment to procedural bylaw. Item 6F, Township of Nairn and Hyman Municipal Superintendent's report, February 2nd, 2021. 6G, Township of Nairn and Hyman Fire Chief's report, February 3rd, 2021. And H, Aqua report regarding loss of pressure event, February 1st, 2021, February 4th, February 4th, 2021. So just to note these as being received, Brig, will you first that?
Yes.
Rod second?
Yes.
So moved by Greg, seconded by Rod. Be it resolved, the following minutes and report 6A to H are noted as received. Township of Nairn and Hyman CAO's report number 2021-003 regarding drinking water advisory. Township of Nairn and Hyman CAO's report 2021-004 regarding communication platform. Township of Nairn and Hyman CAO's report number 2021-005 regarding written declaration of pecuniary interest and establishment of a public registry of disclosures of interest. Township of Nairn and Hyman CAO's report 2021-006 regarding municipal modernization program. Township of Nairn and Hyman CAO's report number 2021-007 regarding amendment to procedural bylaw. Township of Nairn and Hyman Municipal Superintendent's report regarding February 2nd, 2021. Township of Nairn and Hyman Fire Chief's report February 3rd, 2021. And Aqua report regarding loss of pressure event February 1st to 4th, 2021. Kathy, in favor?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
Chair, I got a question on one of them.
Yeah, we have motions on each of them, Rod, so we'll go through each one individually.
Oh, so you, okay.
Yeah, we're just noted as being received right now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and then we'll go back and discuss each one and the motions that I have in front of us.
Okay, sorry about that.
So it's all good. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick,
Yes.
bring it up.
Yep.
Yes,
Thank you. And
yes.
Yes, so that's carried. Okay, now if anyone has any questions on those reports, by all means, we can certainly hear them at this time. Rod, I know you had some. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Rod.
okay, on the superintendent report there, it's my turn or?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I had a phone call just before the meeting and from a taxpayer about the rink, about the lights, and I couldn't answer the question because I don't know what's going on over there. He says the lights are on, nobody's there night after night. Sometimes there's 2 kids, sometimes there's none. And I said, well, the lights are probably on the timer. And he said no, because he said that one night it's off at 8:30 and next night it's off at 9. So, and I couldn't answer him. What's the procedure there now? Is the lights on timer or somebody staying there or controlling it or what?
I'm going to have Belinda answer that, as she works with Derek every day, obviously. So, Belinda, if you don't mind.
Okay, thank you, can everyone hear me again? Okay.
I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Okay, can you hear me now, Rob?
Yes, fine.
Okay. At this time, with the provincially declared emergency and all the added measures that we have to have in place to have our rink open, we have been having a staff of Public Works supervising the rink. They open it up at 4 o'clock and they're keeping it open till 8 o'clock, a little bit longer if there are people skating, but we've told them to close the lights and shut it down at 8 o'clock if no one's there. Okay,
so just to make it clear, there is somebody there from 4 to 8 that controls the lights and okay, I'll pass that on to
That's correct. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
On the next, on item B, the communication platform, Frederick had brought something to our attention. Our CAO has done some research in her report. I'm kind of siding with the idea of a joint communication alert system with other municipalities, where that can be brought up at the next La Cloche Foothills Municipal Association meeting. We want to find something that's going to work for everybody, not just those of us that are on cell phones. We do have some seniors, and we want to make sure that we're going to be able to get out to them as well in the event of an emergency. So I personally, those are my thoughts, that we could see what the interest is from surrounding municipalities and then go from there. But I want to hear from each of you, obviously. Frederick, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be in favor of something if we can get something going with all the adjoining municipalities. If there's not enough interest, I would probably be in favor of the cheaper option of the two. I don't know if 10,000 a year is in the books for just us compared to 500 for just us, but if we could split the cost with Espanola and Baldwin and Sable Spanish River, I mean, that's possibly something that would be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree. Kathy, your thoughts?
I really like the idea of the All Connect, especially if we can partner with surrounding communities. It says here the cost is $4,000, almost $5,000. I didn't see 10,000 anywhere, but that, and anyways, regardless, I really think with the emulsion plant being built, we really need to have something reliable and serious in place that we can reach everyone. And I think the AllNet seems to cover all those bases. That's my opinion.
Perfect. Rod, what are your thoughts?
I kind of agree with Frederick there, and it don't hurt to check with Espanola and the other communities to see how this will work. But we also got to consider, like, I know Hyman, their cell phones are weak up there. Eh? They don't have good receptions, and we'll have to make sure that if we go with cell phones or not anything like that, that we'll have to try to. And there's a lot of people in there who don't have cell phones. So if we go that route, we'll have to look at a different for food systems or something, phone system. Or I always go with the one with the phoning people. I know it takes staff's time, but I mean that way we know we get out to everybody eventually. But and I know emergencies, it's very serious to get it out as soon as we can, especially for the water advisory. But I know Hyman don't have water advisory up there, but I mean if we go that route, we're probably going to go with all emergencies. And we do have if there's chemical spills or up there or down here, everybody should know. Anyway, that's my thought of. But this is just that we're looking at it and discussing it. And if you go to La Cloche Foothills and get some more information for us, that'll be fine. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Rod. Brigida, your thoughts?
Yes, I agree that we have a very rural area, or there's too dynamic of people that have cell and internet access and people that don't. And so we have to ensure that we cover both people. So $500 is fine if it's just us, and $4,000 would be fine if we went in as a group with our other area municipalities. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Big. It sounds like we're pretty much all on the same page. We're hoping we don't have a set date for La Cloche yet, to my knowledge, but it should be coming up very shortly. So I'll definitely do some exploring there and let council know what the other municipalities are thinking as well before we make any decisions. So, Greg, will you first that motion?
Yes.
Thank you. Rod, can you second?
Yes.
Okay, so the motion moved by Greg, seconded by Rod. Be it resolved that CAO's report 2021-004 dated February 2nd be received for information. And further, the council recommends that the idea of a joint communication alert system be presented at the next La Cloche Foothills Municipal Association meeting. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Greg?
Yep.
Rod?
Yes.
And myself as yes, that is carried. Six, or the C, is pretty self-explanatory. Pretty much the law, so we don't really have a choice. Fred, will you first that motion?
Yes.
And Kathy second.
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Fred, seconded by Kathy. Be resolved, the council received the CAO's report 2021-005 dated February 3rd for information purposes, and that council enacts the changes regarding written declarations of pecuniary interest and directs the CAO to establish a public registry of disclosures of interest in compliance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Bring it up.
Yep.
You, Rod?
Yes.
Myself is yes, that's carried. On the modernization program, Greg, will you give us a first?
Yes.
Fred second.
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Greg, seconded by Fred. Be resolved that council received the CAO's report 2021-006 dated February 3rd for information, and that council directs the CAO to submit an expression of interest to the Municipal Modernization Program Intake 2 for a review of service delivery and modernization opportunities. And further, that in the event provincial funding is approved, council supports the use of an independent third-party reviewer for the purpose of developing a formal report providing specific and actionable recommendations for cost savings and improved efficiency. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Craig?
Yep.
Rod?
Yes.
Myself, say yes, that's carried. Any discussions on the amendment to the procedural bylaw? Brad, will you second this motion then?
Yes.
Thank you, Ray, or sorry, oh, Brad second, sorry. And backwards. Greg, will you first it?
Yes.
Thank you. So moved by Bragg, seconded by Fred. Resolve the CAO's report 2021-007 be received for information. And further, the council suspends part 5, section 35.19 of the procedure bylaw 2019-39, and that the accounts be removed from the agenda immediately, and that council directs that the procedure bylaw be updated to be compliant with updates to the Municipal Act and best legal practices by June 14th, and that the treasurer be directed to submit a quarterly financial report to council that includes a variance of expenses and revenues by department showing actual to budget and projections to year end. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
And I am, so that is carried. Thank you. Okay, we've discussed the municipal superintendent's report. I don't believe we had a motion, no motions on that. Township, Nairn and Hyman Fire Chief's report. I was speaking with the fire chief earlier today, and I want to hear everyone's opinion on this, but I think something has to be done with that fire station. I've been in there. There's barely room to walk beside either truck, let alone storing gear, so on and so forth. Now, unfortunately, right now, our auditors are a little behind, so we don't know where we're sitting with surplus from last year. I think that this project should move forward, but I think we need some more information as to where we're sitting financially, which won't be happening until mid-March. Yeah, till about mid-March. I'm expecting a fair surplus from last year that could be directed towards this project. So I think once we have some more financial information, it would make more sense to address it at that point. But I want to hear from each of you as well. Fred, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a larger number than I thought it would be, and I do agree that there needs to be some sort of stuff done to the fire hall. It's in need of renovations. Yeah, for me, it was a concern around finances. I can't go ahead and approve anything without seeing that stuff, seeing numbers in front of me. Yeah, that was my thoughts in terms of I understand we're looking at grants, but to hand out $250,000 right now from our pockets would be a little bit irresponsible in my eyes, without seeing things, without getting an audit just yet. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Frederick. Bragg, your thoughts?
Yes, I feel that is a really high number too, actually. And I think I would like us to pursue more grants. Maybe I know we've got one for $100,000 there. I think it was a COVID grant. But maybe there's emergency preparedness, or the province or the feds have to help us with that. That's just a lot of money, considering we just purchased a truck a couple of years ago for more than $250,000 also. And I just want us to keep in mind, when the audit is done, when we get those financial reports, and I know I've brought it up and I'll bring it up again, but when we look at the fire page for fire protection and prevention, and they use all small communities similar to ours, and our our chart on that bar just flies almost off the page. We are just like almost 10 times ahead of other communities spending this much on fire promotion and protection. So if they're able to, we should at least bring this down a bit. And I'll be curious to see the auditor's report for that this year again, because it was really high last year. I think everyone might recall. So those are my thoughts right now. I just think we should look for more funding from the province or the feds.
Thanks, Greg. Kathy?
Basically echoing what the other councillors have mentioned. I don't know much about construction, but I see on Richard's cost estimate, there's supervision in a couple of places there at $2,250 a week. And I just was like, who gets paid that? Like, is that a supervisor's wage? I don't understand what supervision is. It just seems really a really high number.
We could certainly ask for some clarity on the full report. Definitely. Yeah, that's it. It's preliminary right now. We just basically, I'm hoping to give him some type of support moving forward, that we are looking at it, but we're not making any decisions. We know where we sit, as mentioned by a couple of councillors. Thanks, Kathy. Rod, your thoughts?
I definitely agree that it's got to be renovated for sure. The cost is a little bit high, but if we can, like Brigitte said, and that if we can get more grant money, which we should, but we always have a hard time getting money for fire department. I don't know if we can get it for everything else, but the fire department not. And the fire department, when I was in there, that old building now, it needs renovating itself, let alone room. And they got more with the fires now. They have to have more room, and that I would say that somehow we have to go ahead with this. But I'll wait and see what all the numbers are. And financially, we can't go in the hole in it. But we have to look around and where we can save money and put it in towards the fire department. But there's money to be saved in the budget. I know that, but we'll have to discuss it later on. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Rod. Well, it sounds like we're all pretty much on the same page. So what this, I won't ask for first or second first. I just want you to know that what the motion says, council defers the decision to approve a working budget amount until budget meetings have been completed, which will be at audit time and so on and so forth. So Fred, will you first that motion?
Yes.
Thank you. Rod, second?
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Fred, seconded by Rod. Be it resolved, the fire chief's report be received for information, and further, the council defers the decision to approve a working budget amount until budget meetings have been completed. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Brigitte?
Yep.
Rod?
Yes.
Myself is a yes, that's carried. Okay, on the Aqua report, we do have a couple of resolutions or a couple of choices. Are there any thoughts on that? I think it needs to be a budget item, and that's what one of the motions does say. Okay, if nothing else. Comes to direct recommendations. Yeah, so we would want a further report on it. We don't really have any costing or anything on this yet. So council directs that a further report be provided. Yeah, so I think we'd like to, I'm hoping everyone's in agreement. We would like to get some more information. Number one, costing before we make any decisions. So Fred, are you okay firsting that?
Yes.
Greg, second?
Yep.
Thank you. Moved by Fred, seconded by Greg, that the report received from Aqua regarding loss of pressure event February 1st, 2021 be received for information, and further that council directs that a further report be provided at the next council meeting outlining the costs of the recommendations of installing a mechanical pressure switch on the fire pump and a separate low pressure alarm in the water treatment plant. Kathy in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
Self is a yes, that's carried. Okay, moving on to correspondences. We'll read through these again and then we'll kind of do like what we did with the minutes and reports. So 7A, Royal Canadian Legion, Ontario Command Publication Office regarding 8th Annual Military Service Recognition Book, January 19th. B, Statistics Canada Census Communications regarding request for support to increase awareness of the census. C, Town of Wasaga Beach regarding support of the Township of Nairn and Hyman's resolution regarding the closure of non-essential businesses during the pandemic. D, Township of Sterling Rawdon regarding support of the Township of Nairn and Hyman's resolution, regarding the closure of non-essential businesses during the pandemic. Municipality, or E, Municipality of Matisse, Valcote regarding support of the Township of Nairn and Hyman's resolution regarding the closure of non-essential businesses during the pandemic. F, Town of Bruce Mines regarding support of the Township of Nairn and Hyman's resolution regarding the closure of non-essential businesses during the pandemic. So this motion is just a note as being received. Brig, will you first?
Yes.
Rod second.
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Brig, seconded by Rod. Be it resolved that correspondences 7A to F be noted as received. Kathy in favor?
Yes.
Fred?
Yes.
Q, bring it up.
Yep.
Rod?
Yes.
And myself is a yes, that's carried. As far as supporting the Royal Canadian Legion, how does council feel about that? And what are you looking at dollar-wise? Or would you be comfortable with supporting dollar-wise?
I would be.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find it here. Oh, here it is here. I don't know. I would like to go with the full page.
Really?
Yeah. Well, we got to respect these people. We wouldn't have what we have today if it wasn't for them.
No, for sure. Agreed. You think in the full color, Rod?
Yes.
Okay. Frederick, your thoughts?
I would be comfortable. I'm looking here for the price list. I would be comfortable. I believe we did this last year or a year ago.
Business fair.
A couple of years ago, maybe. And I would be in favor of any donation that we've done in the past for this. Yeah, I'd be in favor.
Sorry, Fred. It was a business.
It was the business card, eh? Yeah.
And what would thoughts? Break it out. What are your thoughts?
Oh, if Councillor McDonald wants a full color page, I'm in. That's fine with me, or a business card is fine, or anything in between. Absolutely, I want to support the Legion.
Yeah,
but yeah, full color page. We've never done that. That's like 16. Is this the one $1,675?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That would be making a statement. But yes, fine. Even half a page for $9.40. That's okay too. Full color. I support any of it. Thank you.
Okay, Kathy.
My first thought was the business card that we had done previously, but I'm open to whatever everyone wants.
Okay, and I personally, I think a half page full color. Typically, I would only suggest the business card size. Notwithstanding that, Legions and a lot of these other organizations are being hit very hard right now because of the pandemic, lack of attendance, lack of being able to have functions where they can earn more money for the Legion itself. I think if we do something, I'm kind of leaning towards the half page full color. That's $940. If everyone's okay with that, we can certainly plug that number in and read the motion.
Yes,
I would go along with the full or a half.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Fred, will you first that?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the 9.
Sorry, Fred and Briggs sounds very similar.
Yeah, sorry. Greg, you can second for us. How's that?
All right.
Okay, so moved by Fred, seconded by Brigg. Be it resolved, the council agrees to support the Royal Canadian Legion Ontario Command by purchasing an advertisement in the amount of $940 in the 8th Annual Military Service Recognition Book. Kathy, in favor?
Yep.
Fred,
Yes.
bring it up.
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
So, yes.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, did it say half page full color or did you
That's
just
correct.
write the amount? Oh, okay, thank you.
Oh,
Sorry.
the motion doesn't say, but that's the only one that's $940.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and the next one is about the census. We all know how important that information is. Rod, will you first this motion?
Yes.
Fred, second.
Yes.
Mhm.
Thank you. Moved by Rod, seconded by Fred. Council of the Corporation of the Township of Nairn and Hyman supports the 2021 census and encourages all residents to complete their census questionnaire. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Greg?
Yep.
Rod?
Yes.
And myself is a yes, that's carried. So now we're going to move on to motions. Item 8A, United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry regarding request to allow small businesses to immediately open. I mean, we have passed this resolution already, but I think backing them on it is for our best interest. Fred, will you first this?
Yes.
You, Brigg, second.
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Fred, seconded by Brigg, that the Corporation and Township of Nairn and Hyman endorse and supports the resolution of United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry, requesting that the province of Ontario allow for small businesses to immediately reopen with the required health guidelines and protocols in place. And further, that a copy of this motion be sent to the Premier of Ontario and the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing for their endorsement. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Greg?
Yep.
Rod?
Yes.
And myself, yes, that's carried. All right. 8B, Township of Asphodel Norwood regarding community safety and well-being plan extension request. Rod, will you first this motion?
Yes.
Greg, second.
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Rod, seconded by Brigg, that the Corporation of the Township of Nairn and Hyman endorse and supports the resolution of the Township of Asphodel Norwood requesting an extension to the provincially mandated deadline to complete and adopt a community safety and well-being plan by July 1st, 2021, due to time required by staff and council to give attention to response efforts and protective measures required to protect our communities during the pandemic. Further, that a copy of this motion be sent to the Township of Asphodel Norwood, the Solicitor General, the Ministry of Community Safety and Correctional Services for their endorsement. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Fred?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Hugh? Rod?
Yes.
Myself as yes, that's carried. Item 8C, Township of Augusta regarding closure of the Ontario Fire College. Kathy, will you first this motion?
Yes.
Thank you. Fred, second.
Yes.
You. Moved by Kathy, seconded by Frederick, that the Corporation of the Township of Nairn and Hyman endorse and supports the resolution of the Township of Augusta requesting the province of Ontario to reverse their decision to close the Ontario Fire College, as it is one of the best and most cost-effective methods for municipalities to train their firefighters, which assists each community in protecting our residents. And further, that a copy of this motion be sent to the Premier of Ontario, the Ontario Solicitor General, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, the Ontario Fire Marshal, and the Township of Augusta. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
Myself as a yes, that's carried. Another one from Municipality of Grey Highlands regarding insurance rates resolution. Rod, will you first this?
Yes.
Kathy, second.
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Rod, seconded by Kathy, that the Corporation of the Township of Nairn and Hyman endorse and supports the resolution of the Municipality of Grey Highlands requesting the Province of Ontario to immediately review the Association of Municipalities of Ontario's recommendations to address the rising cost of municipal insurance and investigate the unethical practice of preferred vendors, as insurance premiums will soon be out of reach for many communities. Further, that a copy of this motion be sent to the Premier of Ontario, Minister of Finance, the Attorney General of Ontario, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, and the Municipality of Grey Highlands. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Greg?
Yep.
Rod?
Yes.
Myself say yes, that's carried. We don't have one for Bracebridge infrastructure funding, or do we?
We'll go on to the next one.
Okay, we're gonna skip the Bracebridge one right now. We just seem to be missing the motion for Bracebridge. So we'll move on to the Town of Carleton Place regarding COVID-19 impacts to childcare. Kathy, will you first this motion?
Yes, I will.
Rod, second.
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Kathy, seconded by Rod. Corporation of the Township of Nairn and Hyman endorse and supports the resolution of the Town of Carleton Place requesting the Government of Ontario to prioritize childcare as part of its overall post-pandemic recovery plan and provide increased funding to childcare providers reflective of COVID-19 operating cost increases to ensure a safe reopening and long-term sustainability for the sector. And further, that a copy of this motion be sent to the Federal Minister of Families, Children and Social Development, the Provincial Minister of Education, our local Member of Parliament, our local Member of Provincial Parliament, and the Town of Carleton Place. Kathy, in favor? Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Okay, Frederick,
Yes.
you bring it up.
Yep.
Rod?
Yes.
Myself say yes, that's carried. We're still looking for that other resolution, so we're going to move on to Matach 1 right now. Fred, will you first this?
Yes.
Kathy, second.
Yes.
Thank you. Moved by Frederick, seconded by Kathy. Corporation of the Township of Nairn and Hyman endorse and supports the resolution of the Township of Matachewan requesting that the application deadlines on any further grants have a longer turnaround time. And further, a copy of this resolution be forwarded to AMO, Phenom, and the Township of Matachewan. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
I'm a yes, that's carried. Another one about insurance with Charlton and Dak. Greg, will you first this?
Yes.
Thank you. Kathy, second.
Yes.
By Bragg, seconded by Kathy. The Corporation of the Township of Nairn and Hyman endorse and supports the resolution of the Municipality of Charlton and Dak calling on the provincial government to address the rising cost of the municipal insurance policies. Further, that a copy of this motion be provided to the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, the Honourable Rod Phillips, Minister of Finance, the Honourable Doug Downey, Attorney General of Ontario, and the Municipality of Charlton and Dak. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
I'm a yes, that's carried.
I just have one highlight there. Rod Phillips is no longer our finance minister. I don't know if that changes anything.
Okay, thanks, Fred.
Do you want to
So
write one out for Bracebridge, or do you want to
No, you can
put it on the next?
You know what, we can put the regarding the infrastructure funding on the next meeting for Bracebridge if council's okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So then we can move on to accounts, general in the amount of 60,782.02. Oh, Nope, okay, so we're not doing those. Oh, yeah, because the motion right immediately, so.
Yeah.
we'll have to. Okay, so we are moving on to item 14, a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the council of the corporation of the Township of Nairn and Hyman. Greg, will you first that?
Yes.
Kathy, second.
Yes,
Moved by Greg, seconded by Kathy. Be it resolved that being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the council of the corporation of the Township of Nairn and Hyman be read a first, second, and third time. Passed in open council. Its number shall be 2021-5. Kathy in favor.
yes,
Frederick,
Yes.
Greg,
Yep.
Rod,
Yes.
self say yes, that's carried. Okay, to close, Fred, will you first?
Yes.
Kathy second.
yes.
Thank you. Moved by Frederick, seconded by Kathy, that the meeting of February 8th, 2021 do now adjourn at 7:45 p.m. to meet again on the 8th day of March 2021 at 7 p.m. or call of the mayor. Kathy in favor?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Greg?
Yep.
Rod?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, so that's carried. Thanks, councilors. I know it's kind of awkward having meetings like this, but everyone did a great job tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.